Well, my friends, I'm here in this magical studio, this beautiful place where wonder and joy is created. And I'm with one of my good friends, and we're going to tell you the story. Buckle up. We're going to tell you the story of how this crazy podcast idea got started 300 episodes ago.
That's amazing.
So it's myself,
Ted Taitt.
We got Ted Taitt.
You know the voice, but you don't know the face.
And you definitely don't know the place.
Yes.
Because this is crazy. Ted's got his whole studio set up here in his home, and what a blessing it is for me to be able to come here and meet your family. And I'm excited to get into just catching people up and on what you've been doing, tell some stories, and we're just going to kick back. Everyone grab your favorite drink and enjoy.
That's what we're missing.
This episode. Oh, we should have done that.
We could definitely still do that if you could pause.
Yeah, we can pause.
Are you tired of managing your specs in spreadsheets, PDFs, or relying on suppliers to do it for you? Learn how SpecWrite can help you digitize and take control of your product and packaging specifications to drive sustainability reporting, SKU rationalization, and better collaborate across departments and with your suppliers. Go to specwrite.com to learn more.
Oh, you know what? We should open that up, and we should, as like part of our
Look at the packaging,
we could totally do that.
because this is some nice packaging.
Okay, let's start over, and then we can pour it and do the whole thing.
Okay.
All right, let's start over.
Have you ever wondered, how do I reduce my carbon footprint? Should I focus on recycled content or reducing weight first? Which design strategies are the most effective for my products? Triac offers multiple solutions for lifecycle assessment, goals management, reporting, EPR fees, and more. Visit triac.com to connect with our team and register for a free 10-day trial of Eco Impact Compass to get started today.
All right, my friends, we are here in this lovely home. Where city am I in again?
South Plainfield, New Jersey.
South Plainfield, go Tigers.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for this episode. This is episode number 300.
300.
And I get to be with my good friend, Ted Taitt.
Taitt.
Ted Taitt, the man, the myth, the legend.
The voice behind the podcast beginnings.
That's right. That's right. And like you said, when we had take one, take two, you know the voice, but
not the face.
don't know the face.
Now you do.
Now you do. So we are here in his home studio. It's incredible, and what an honor to be able to record this episode. So everybody, grab a drink, sit back, just relax a little. Now, if you're driving, do not do that.
Do not.
But we're gonna crack open. What do we got here?
We got some Hibiki Japanese whiskey.
Japanese whiskey that we're gonna try. We'll talk about the packaging. We'll have a drink in our red Solo cup. This is made from polysiren. It's fine. We're just rolling with it anyway. Here on the People of Packaging podcast, let's get going.
Hey, good evening or good morning or good afternoon. I don't know if that, do you say good afternoon? Yeah, that's a word. Whatever time you're listening to this podcast, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. It's considered TV, right? I'm guessing. We're live on the YouTube. Live on the YouTube. Not in Belarus, though, told. For paper, you have to flatten it before you receive. I'm guessing they don't crush everything before they're collecting paper. Like 3D objects get routed away. If you leave your paper like a box, if you leave it assembled, the likelihood that it's going to get back goes down.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to listen to the People of Packaging. All right, here we are. We've got the box open. During the intro, we went ahead and just did a little bit of the unboxing here. But Ted, this is your home studio.
Yes, this is.
And it's impressive.
Thank you.
I have a lot of really rad stuff.
I've been at this for, since 1991.
1991.
I put together my first studio.
Let's talk about 91. I want to say, when did DOS Effects come out? Was that like 93?
93-ish.
Okay.
I was in college at the time, yes.
So Ted Taitt predated They Want Effects. 91.
I'm gonna have to check that
Public
out.
Enemy.
It was after Public Enemy really hit in the late 80s.
Late 80s?
Yeah.
So who was 1991?
I think we might be hitting Black Moon territory.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, this is not the. You can look it up. What are we looking up here?
Seeing.
Are we going to find the top
Hits from
hits
1991.
from 1991? That's how long Ted has been making music. How long have you been in packaging, Ted?
I've been in packaging since 1996.
All right.
I stopped doing the math because it started to date me, but yeah, it's been since 1996. You figure it out.
I mean, it sounds like in 2026, when we hit episode whatever we hit, we're going to do a 30th anniversary.
Oh my goodness.
30-year anniversary for Ted.
Oh my goodness. That's kind of, the math doesn't add up because I still feel 25.
You look 25. You look great.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay, so I think before we get into this, by the way, did you find the song yet? You know, you can just talk to your phone these days. It'll just tell you. You can do that. That's the thing. In case anyone's wondering, go,
I am old school.
hey Siri,
We've had this discussion.
what was the top song in 1991? Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams.
Okay. See, that wouldn't be my top. So
no, that's not your top song.
Tribe Called Quest, Check the Rhyme was out.
Okay.
Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here.
You weren't a big Bryan Adams.
I don't even know who the hell that is.
You know
quite
the
honestly.
song. You know the song. You want me to sing it?
Please do.
It's so good. I feel like I'm in a studio and my singing voice is terrible. He said, "You know it's true.
Oh,
Everything I do," and he had the really smoky voice.
Yes.
I do it for you.
I do know that song.
Wasn't it from what was that movie? Yeah, that's from a movie. Does anyone know? We're not live. Okay, last one. Oh,
OPP.
which
They're from New Jersey.
and was a big reason why I went with
people of
POP packaging, because we had POP.
Yeah.
And I always say, I told the story a couple times, but like I'll be in a meeting, especially when I sold like flexible films,
Mm-hmm.
and they would be in oriented polypropylene. And so they would say, or like, a label, this is a nice wine stock on this Hibiki. But it might be a BOPP. And I'll ask in the meeting, I'll say, so are you down with BOPP?
And they wouldn't know what the
And
hell
if
you're
they don't
talking
say
about.
anything, I'm like, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to be able to hang out.
Did we talk about how we first met?
No, but we're going to tell that after we get some whiskey.
Then we can really
You're
get
not being
into it.
You're not being a nice guest. If you're not watching this, we're in.
You heard that?
I heard that.
You
We're
wanna
in.
pour your own poison, or
No, you got it.
all right?
Remember, I got to drive after this.
Yes.
So I'm out here in New York. It was a quick drive over here to Ted's studio in his home. And you grew up here, right? From
Yeah, when I moved from New York to New Jersey, this is the house that we moved into, and
what part of New York were you in?
I was from the Bronx.
Okay.
And my family moved us out of the Bronx to keep us out of trouble, me and my older brother. And this is the house. And when I was 24, at the beginning of my career, my parents decided they wanted to move.
Okay.
And offered me an opportunity to purchase the house. So I purchased the house, got married, renovated, raised my family here.
I love it.
And my son, who's now 17, going on 18, already told me that he's going to buy the house for me.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I'm getting kicked out.
cheers to parenthood.
Yes.
And
I stopped at 2, though. I wasn't brave enough to go to 5
hey,
like you.
Listen, you're 40% of the man that I am. I guess.
I guess.
Whoa, this is delicious.
Yes. It's good stuff. Only the best for you, Adam.
Man,
Peak.
man.
Only the best for you.
So let's rewind it.
Yes.
It's Lux Pack, New York,
Mm-hmm.
2017. And we are at, what was the party?
It was
Was it like Oberk or something?
It was
like that?
Oberk's rooftop party
Yes,
with the pool. Yeah.
it was. And I was a little bored at the party. I didn't know hardly anybody there. And I don't remember, we got introduced by, did Sam Figueroa introduce us at the party?
He might have.
I think
He
Sam
might
introduced
have.
us.
Because Sam plays guitar. So
Right,
we have
he's-
that music connection. Yeah.
He's a very good guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
And so
And you did not ask me about OPP.
I did not,
You
that was
did
not
not.
my first question,
You did not.
because that would be inappropriate at a party setting.
Oh,
Because, you know, if those of you who are not Naughty by Nature fans, the last P is the longest, loveliest, lean. I call it the leanest. It's another 5-letter word rhyming with cleanest or meanest.
and Weenus.
And weenus. Shout out to Weenus Lube.
Weenus Lube.
Go to weenuslube.com for all of your dry elbow skin
Moisturization needs.
moisturization. Yeah, so we just started chatting and pretty quickly found out that we might have been the only two people at the rooftop packaging party
Mm-hmm.
who had listened to Naughty by Nature and the Ghetto Boys. Now there are people out there who do listen to,
Right.
but sometimes legitimately, like, I start recording and I'm like, oh, I never like check to make sure the audio's don't work. But I think we're good to go.
Okay. Speaking to an audio engineer.
I know, I'm like looking around here, I'm like, oh shoot. But yeah, so we started talking about hip hop music and basketball. And pretty soon, we must have hung out for a few hours. And I think after a few whatever drinks we were having,
Right. Because it was open bar.
it was open bar. I feel like we were both just like, we should start a podcast.
No.
Not there.
Let me rewind it to history.
Okay. Fact check. I'm getting fact check.
You're definitely getting fact checked because I was not in the podcast. It was your idea.
No, it was my idea.
Yes.
But it was at that party when I
Yep.
think I got my phone out and I was like, there's no packaging podcast. And you're like, I
don't mess with podcasts. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think you said something along the lines of course there's no packaging podcast. Like, who would want a packaging podcast? But we did it
Mhm.
anyways. In the very first episode, I don't remember where, but I was out here for work
Mhm.
and I bought a 2-way microphone. I remember I was like,
was that the blue?
no, it was by Samson.
Okay.
And we hooked it up and I was like, where do we record this? And I was a ways away from where you are. So you're like, I'll just come to you. So we sat in my hotel room and we recorded the first two episodes and they were
Stellar.
great. I think yours is still the most downloaded episode.
Really?
Because it was episode 1.
Mhm.
So what'll happen is somebody will subscribe to the podcast, they'll go back, they'll
Start from the beginning. Okay.
But yeah, so we recorded them back to back. After we had a meal, it was great.
Right.
And
That
so
was-
that was
That was a good time.
299 episodes ago.
Wow. Yeah. And quite honestly, you've done an absolutely amazing job at building up the podcast and keeping it going. So, cheers to you.
Thank you.
You made it to 300.
We made it.
Congratulations.
What's that movie? Like, I feel like I have a war cry or something. Is there a movie called 300?
Yes, there is. One of my favorite movies, actually. A lot of violence and gore.
Unfortunately, I've never seen it.
Mm.
I'm so sorry.
You have to now.
I have to before this episode releases.
Yes.
Maybe I'll like chop in some scenes or something from it.
Oh, there's a lot of takes that you can get. from that. Yes, absolutely. You'll like that movie.
What's the packaging like?
Movie?
In wherever it's set.
No.
I don't need to talk about it.
No, it's the Spartan Wars. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so you were integral, and I mean this, like when we first started, because I didn't know what I was doing, and you were the only person who had ever done anything, in that you could help with the engineering of the audio.
Yep. edit audio. My wife was even part of the intro.
She was.
Yes, she was. Yes,
That's
she
right.
was.
The very first intro.
Yep.
She
Yep.
did. She did the voice for the very first few episodes
That's right.
of the podcast. So, and then
Cheap labor.
and then as we started going, we were doing like one a month
I think that was the cadence
for a while.
and then it sometimes got a little bit longer depending on schedules.
Yep. And so we got to a point where I remember you called me and you were like, listen, my job is just like there's too much stuff going on.
Right.
And so you're like, can I take a quick pause? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Like I'll see if I can figure this thing out. Clearly I was very upset.
But he never showed it.
No, I was not upset. It takes a lot to get me upset. And that was not one of them. But I mean, I'm excited for you to keep growing your career. And honestly, I thought like this will probably tailor away. Like this will kind of just like trail away. And then,
But it didn't.
you know what happened was March of 2020 happened.
Mm-hmm.
And if those of you who don't remember, there was a global pandemic.
Yeah, that little thing.
That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And but what happened is everybody started to gravitate online, and all of a sudden people had a lot of time, and the downloads start going up, and people start hitting me up, and like started getting more people following me on LinkedIn. I'm like, what is going on? And if you recall, I think you even called me. You were like, bro, what's happening? I'm like, I don't know. I just keep interviewing people.
Right.
And I started cranking them out one a week.
And I was like, that cadence was way too crazy for me.
It was nuts. And so we went from having, I think we did like the first 14 episodes or something like that together.
Yeah.
And then you were like, hey, listen, stuff's going on. This is before COVID that you said that. And then, obviously after COVID, it just took off. And, thankfully now there's like AI tools and stuff like that I really lean on to help me.
Yeah.
Or else there's no way to keep cranking this stuff out every single week.
It's a heavy load, seriously. So part of why I didn't have the bandwidth was because of the studio.
Yeah.
Because pre-COVID, I was probably working with maybe 4 or 5 artists.
Okay.
So aside from a packaging career, which is full-time and demanding, I'm a family man, husband, and I was in the studio late nights a lot of times. So it got to be a case where I realized I'm not Superman. So
you have to, it's actually a great lesson, right? Is learning when to say no, right, is probably a thing that's going to help a lot of people out through their life, right? I need to learn it, I think more so than other, but yeah, I mean, and your career has continued to grow and progress. You have had a few things happen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Life always wins.
Amen.
Serious.
Right.
So yeah.
So we have and currently you're still in packaging.
Still in packaging, yes.
You graduated from NJIT?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm a mechanical engineer that fell into packaging and never got out of it. So
no, and if you want to hear his entire backstory, we may or may not have covered it. I have not listened to those episodes.
Me either. I don't know what we covered.
There was
It was a lot of fun though.
Our mutual friend Paulette. I recorded with Paulette in a conference room at WS Packaging, and the audio is horrendous. It's like episode 3, and it's like unlistenable how bad the audio is. And I remember I sent it to you, and you're like, bro, I don't know.
See, now
I don't know.
If you sent it to me now, I could have cleaned it up for you.
Yeah.
I got tools.
It was pretty bad. So yeah, I mean, maybe let's talk a little bit about, for you, when you start looking at things that are happening now, like, is there anything about packaging right now that you're like, I'm actually pretty excited to see this, like these kinds of innovations, or you've worked for some huge companies in your career. You know everybody, or you know a lot of people.
A lot of people. I wouldn't say everybody because I'm seasoned, right? So there's a whole generational layer of people that I walk into functions that I do not know, right? So I'm trying to still, keep myself open to meeting people, but now I'm one of the old guys, man, which is crazy.
Is it?
It is crazy. I'm not complaining. I'm glad to be old and have the opportunity to get old.
Right.
So
Right.
we could touch on that a little bit later, but yeah. So
I hate to tell you, but later is now.
yeah,
We're at 21 minutes.
Oh, really?
And my friend, you got a
Conference call with China. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's get into it. So
yeah,
what am I excited to see with the AI tools and what it allows people to do creatively on every front, right? Even in music, it's exciting. So I'm waiting to see when that really starts to impact the designs that we do in packaging, because the crazy things are the things that are most interesting to me as an engineer to figure out how to get done. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm waiting to see how we leverage AI for creativity in package design. That's what I'm waiting to see.
Got it. And I think it's happening, right? Like, I think that we're starting to see these AI tools. I was with Esco, and they were showing me like their chat bot was doing some pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
In terms of like, you could just like talk to it and it would create a quote or like make a die line or
Oh, wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, I think there's some cool stuff, and obviously there's a bunch of people who are talking about AI. What's one lesson? We'll kind of wrap it up here. I didn't realize we've been talking for so long.
That's crazy. Always happens though.
Always happens. What's one lesson that you would say that you wish or that you hope people would like take away from like your 28 years in the industry?
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Try new things. I was so dead set on doing what I liked, which was creating, engineering, like getting deep into the technical side of things, that I think I let a lot of potential growth pass me by. It took me until I was, I think, 40 before I decided to try something new and get into sales, right? And that opened my eyes to a lot of things within the industry and just myself, right? I started basically from the ground level of sales to work myself back up. So I wish I would have tried more things when I was earlier in my career.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Well, man, 300 episodes.
That's awesome.
Over 6 years. We'll keep doing this. We'll have you on again for sure.
And maybe I'll do some interviews with some people. Maybe I'll get some time to get further back into it. Yeah.
I love it. Well, Ted, man, being in the studio is great. Being able to be here in person has been awesome. So I can't think of a better person to have on than you.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, I got nothing but love for Adam Peak. Right? This guy is really been a champion for packaging as a whole. So every time someone talks about the podcast, I hear people talk, and I smile because I know I had something to do with it, but you were really the driving force and continue to be that. So
I appreciate it. And it wouldn't have gotten off the ground had it not been for that one evening.
Yeah.
On the roof.
Well, this is the other thing, right? You have to be open to meeting new people.
Amen.
Right. So yeah, if either one of us was closed off, we wouldn't be here right now.
Nope. I love it. All right, everybody. Well, Maybe we'll have 300 more. Maybe we'll have 3 more. I don't know. But appreciate you, Ted, for coming on.
Yes, I appreciate you for being here, man. I just appreciate you. You've always been a good friend.
Yep.
Good person. So I'm happy to see where you've gotten, and I'm interested in knowing and figuring out where you're gonna go.
We'll see.
Yeah. It'll always be a story.
That we got to leave it there. There'll always be a story.
There will always be a story.
All right. We'll see y'all.
Bless you, bro.